Hey there, Cancer. Welcome to your reading for the week of April 4th. This week we are going to jump right in here, Cancer, and we are just going to see what is going on for you at this time. There will be a part 2, and that will be linked up in the description down below. But let's see what we have going on for you here, Cancer and Cancer. You have this dog spirit, which says companionship on it in the first position. I'm going to show you in just a second. And you also have the Ace of Cups. I'm pretty sure last week you had multiple aces, and this week you have multiple aces. Pretty crazy to me that these aces keep coming up again. 2 aces to me in a reading is a definite yes to any question that I haven't answered. But you have this dog spirit, it says companionship on it. And I do feel there could be love coming in for you. Number 1, if you want love, I would open up to it. You have 2 cards of being very closed off, 7 of Wands and the 8 of Swords. This could be because of the 9 of Swords in your reading. It's like, if we look at this reading, it's kind of encouraging you. I didn't even realize this. You have 3 aces. This is amazing. You have this direction here, which is Ace of Wands, new beginning, 8 of Swords, being a little stuck, to the Ace of Pentacles, which is a new beginning. Ace of Cups to the 8 of Swords to the 9 of Swords is like being stuck, not seeing that there's an opportunity. I feel like this is kind of like a loyalty test. You know, something is clearly going to be loyal to you, but I feel like you have to open up to it. Could be love, doesn't have to be. Like, you know, believe it or not, a job can be loyal to us as well. It's like, I don't know if you've ever had a job where your boss sucks, right? And they're not loyal to you. They'll just fire anyone. That is not a loyal position, right? So I kind of get the word like loyalty, even though it says companionship on it. It is a card of loyalty and something that is loyal to you. And that's what I feel like you're finding. You have the Ace of Cups, the 7 of Wands, and the Ace of Wands. Again, crazy to me. I switch decks every single sign. Again, Pisces had 2 aces. You have 3. This happened last week as well, so clearly we're in a time of these like new beginnings. I like to remind people that aces are extremely positive, but we have to take advantage of the energy. This is literally the hand of God, and again, if you don't believe in God, then you know it's some whatever else, the flying spaghetti monster or whatever you want to believe in, doesn't matter. Not a religious statement, but that is the hand of God reaching out, being like, take this. So it's like clearly there is a big opportunity. I kind of just, even though it's 3 aces, I feel like it's one thing. And I feel like the aces are kind of describing your mindset around an opportunity that is presenting itself. It's something that's going to cause your emotions to overflow with the Ace of Cups. I feel like it's something that is going to inspire you. I mean, the way I think of the Ace of Wands sometimes is that not only is it, a new beginning, a passionate new beginning, but it's also probably something we want to do. It is a card of desire. So sometimes I feel the Ace of Wands can just represent an opportunity that we have a lot of desire for, that we really want to accomplish. And you have the Queen of Wands here, very similar energy. The Ace of Pentacles is something long-term, something that needs to be taken care of as well. So again, the Ace of Pentacles is like 2 things. Can represent something that if you take care of it, will last for a long time. And we'll talk about that when we get to the Ace of Pentacles, but I kind of just see this as one opportunity. I feel like you have to believe it a little bit with the 7 of Wands. 7 of Wands, I always say, is my card of conviction. It is a card that says, if you know that something is for you, it is for you. So it's kind of like a card of belief and believing something on a very deep level. And again, I feel whatever this is going to cause your emotions to overflow. I do feel kind of very strong emotions about an opportunity that is presenting itself, or, this could be something that develops as well. Like I said, with the Ace of Pentacles, it's like, I mean, I'm sure you've all had experiences where you get into a relationship with a person, you like the person, but it's like maybe you don't expect to fall in love with them, right? I'm sure we've all had that, right? And I kind of get that feeling here. I'm not saying it's love either. It could be love for some of you. I feel like it's work or business or, your health for others. It's almost like you're kind of falling in love with something over time. And, I feel like this is a good thing because, again, Ace of Pentacles, you're going to want to take care of it. You're going to want to nurture it, which means if you take care of something, typically you become more successful in whatever it is. Next, you have this moth spirit, and it says surrender now on it. So I do feel like there is something, I feel like you need to surrender to just opening up here. The moth spirit can be a card of being attracted to something as well. You have the Queen of Wands here. The Queen of Wands is a card of seduction. So I kind of get that feeling here of being seduced by something. It's kind of interesting because part of me feels like this is a good thing. I think that sometimes if we stop ourselves, if we say like, okay, I'm just attracted to the package of whatever this is. I'm just attracted to the, the outer stuff. I'm not attracted to the inner stuff. That's like seduction, right? When we see something, we're just kind of attracted to the idea of it without actually knowing. I kind of feel an energy of like slowing things down a little bit. But what I would say to you here is that, I feel like I would start looking for evidence is what I would say. And what I mean by that is like, let's say you're attracted to a person. I feel like you're recognizing that maybe it's a little bit of seduction or infatuation, whatever you want to call it, right? And I feel like you're slowing things down, which is great. But I also feel like this reading is saying you don't have to like close yourself off with the Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords is self-imposed restriction. Eight of Swords is like not opening up to a person, for example, because you've been hurt in the past. But what I feel like this reading is saying is like there's another way. You can open up to the person a little bit and you can see like, are they just a shiny package or are they actually, something worth investing in? I think sometimes we go to the extremes. We get hurt in a relationship and we say, okay, I'm never going to open up to a person again. And we completely shut off, or we get into a good relationship and we go the other direction, right? So I feel like this is saying like there's a middle ground, and that's a feeling I get here with the Eight of Swords. Not really what the Eight of Swords represents, but again, that's what I'm getting here. The whole point of the Eight of Swords is that it's about removing self-imposed restrictions from your life. And so what I would say here is like, are there restrictions or are there things that are preventing you from moving forward in some area of your life? Like I said, it doesn't have to just be love. This could be multiple areas of your life. You also have the Queen of Wands here. Queen of Wands, she is holding this sunflower in her hand. The sunflower represents the sun, represents happiness, joy, good things coming in for her. She also has this black cat here, and the black cat and the tarot, when the tarot was created, black cats were considered very unlucky. And so the black cat, but she doesn't care. So the whole point of the Queen of Wands is she doesn't care what anyone thinks. She's going to do something that she wants to do. I get that feeling for you here as well, Cancer. But again, mostly I get this feeling of kind of seduction. You have the Four Pentacles. And again, I feel the Four Pentacles is saying you need to believe that there are other ways that things can happen. With the Four Pentacles, again, since starting tarot, 7 years ago now, or I don't know, it's been like longer than that. I think I'm going on 8 years. I don't know. It's all blended together. But, since starting tarot on YouTube, and I was doing tarot before YouTube as well, but, personally, right? What I'd say here with the Four Pentacles is that it's kind of like, holding on to past stories. But since I started on YouTube, it's like I get tons of comments from people on love where it's like people leave me comments about love and they're like, everybody's a cheater. I'm like, well, clearly that's not true. There are plenty of people who don't cheat. Maybe you happen to be attracting a lot of cheaters, but maybe you need to pay attention to what's going on here. Four Pentacles, Seven of Wands. I kind of get this feeling between the two cards, especially since the next card over here, which is not really on camera, but the next camera over here is the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords can represent like a nightmare or, going to sleep, waking up and still being stuck in a nightmare. So I feel like it's like saying you need to allow yourself to be surprised, which I feel like I've said to you in recent readings. I really feel like the universe, like once you realize that there are other stories that exist for life, for everyone. And it's like you just have to step into that story. That's kind of what I feel here. But let's see. You have the Eagle Spirit says triumph over troubles and obstacles. Love it. And you have this Apple card. It says temptation will test you. Boom. What was I saying that entire time? I'm laughing because I was saying, seduction that entire time. I feel like with the Eagle, clearly you'll easily be able to overcome obstacles. With the Apple, again, I do feel this is like temptation with that Apple card. But like I said, I feel what the universe is trying to get you to do is Eight of Swords. And what I mean by that is the Eight of Swords, I feel, is self-imposed restriction. But I feel like the universe is saying to you, if you're not afraid of getting into a relationship with a person, don't just jump right in. Don't go to the extremes. Don't just jump right in. Also, don't just close off. Maybe, just give it a little bit of time. See what happens. I always like to say, I like to play the justice game, which is you hit the ball to their side of the court, kind of like tennis, right? If they hit it back, then keep going. So, to me, it's, I think we give too much, especially as spiritual people. So we should probably just give a little, wait, see what happens. If they give a little, great. Then we give a little bit more. They give a little bit more. We need to kind of have that nice back and forth. And if we do that, and if they do that, if they're playing the game, then, we can keep moving forward. You have the Ace of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Nine of Swords. Plain and simple, this whole entire row to me is saying focus on the opportunity. The Ace of Pentacles is the opportunity. There's a garden in the front here, and I always say that the Ace of Pentacles, we have to grab onto it. We have to take care of that garden. We have to nurture that garden into existence, but if we do that, we're going to be very successful. If you look at the Queen of Pentacles here, she's very focused on the pentacle. It's like she's focused on the Queen of Pentacles, or on the pentacle itself, which could be that Ace of Pentacles. And you have this rabbit down here. Rabbits can represent fertility, abundance, all sorts of things. Yes, of course. But the rabbit can also represent fears and anxiety. And that would be the Nine of Swords. It's like she chooses to focus on the abundance, which is actually the pentacle. She doesn't focus on like the nervous little creature, which could be this right here. So the Queen of Pentacles is all about your focus. And I would make sure you're drawing your focus to that pentacle. I like to remind people that she is a card of resourcefulness, and that doesn't necessarily mean that she has money. It could be the fact that she can get the money. That could be resourcefulness. It could also be the fact that she has a talent, gift, skill, or ability that could make her money. So it's kind of like a card of looking at all your resources, which it could include knowledge, wisdom that you have. Maybe it could be some things, if you need money for something, she might have something in her house that you could sell for money. It could be anything, but I feel like you really need to kind of look deep at your resources. Again, with the Nine of Swords, I would just say get out of your head. Nine of Swords is a card of a temporary situation. Funny enough, sometimes I feel that the Nine of Swords could represent a temporary job or a temporary position. Sometimes, not always true. I feel the Nine of Swords is really good for temporary work, part-time work, contract work, freelance work, anything like that. If you do any of those types of work, I feel like this is very good for you. Again, Nine of Swords is a card normally of nightmares and things like that, but again, it is what I call a clue card, and to me, it can be a clue sometimes of kind of like part-time, holiday, whatever you want to call it, work. And if you're doing any of those things, or if you're looking for a contract position, I actually do consider it to be a very good card, and it's popping into my head. So that's why I'm saying it. But this is an amazing reading so far. You have 3 aces, definitely some sort of new beginning. So let's see where this goes. Part 2 is linked up in the description down below.